Hey guys, it's Claude, back today with another deck opening. Sadly, I do not think I can go to the St. Louis Vault Tour that's scheduled for about 2 weeks from now. I'm going to do my best to go, but there's basically no shot I will get to. It's kind of a shame. Here it is going to be the closest Vault Tour ever to me, and I will not be able to go. Alright, today's deck: Blue Archon, Brobnar, Untamed, and Sanctum. Chancellor, W, Nulling Strong. And the Archon here, we got 4 bubbles up, 2 on each side. That's the first time I've seen Archon with its hands, or maybe these are additional legs like that. It's kind of crazy. Pretty cool, actually. Kind of looks like, I know this isn't what they're going for, but it looks like the cape. You can see like a cape. It's like maybe made of a certain sort of like animal fur or something. That's kind of cool. And that's a very untamed looking head there. See the horns? Kind of almost matches up. They're curved in a little bit more there. Yeah, very cool. I like it. And even though I can't make it to the St. Louis Vault Tour, I'm going to try my best to make it to at least maybe 2 of the other announced Vault Tours. I'll have to see what the formats are. I do love playing in the Vault Tour, so I'll do my best to make it to some others. Alright, we're going to start off with Untamed. It's Telega, 3 power. Each time your opponent plays a creature, gain 1 amber. It's a great first turn play. Bumblebird, 1 power alpha. Play, put 2 +1 power counters on each other friendly untamed creature. Song of Spring, amber whenever you play it. Play, shuffle any number of friendly untamed creatures from your hand, discard or battle line back into your deck. This card would have been really amazing in Coda. In Age of Ascension, I have not really seen any good uses for it yet. Save the Packets in action. Play, destroy each damaged creature, gain 1 chain. Rust Nars, 4 power, fight, destroy an artifact. If that artifact had an amber bonus, you gain that much amber. 2 of those. Marmos Worm is 2 power, gets +1 power for each amber in your pool. Nox, 3 power, gets +3 power for each neighbor it has. Key Charge, lose 1 amber if you do. You may forge a key at current cost. Not too much bonus amber here, but a decent amount of creatures to reap with. Glimmer, 1 power alpha, play, return a card from your discard pile to your hand. Second Glimmer, so this is actually pretty good to at least return that key charge. You don't mind discarding it early. Darna, 2 power, play, gain 1 amber for each damaged friendly creature, repeal 2 damage from a friendly creature. Now we're on to Sanctum. It's Gorm of Om. It's an artifact. Omni, sacrifice it. You destroy an artifact. That's a great card. Barrister Joya, 5 power, 1 armor. Enemy creatures cannot reap. So good. I love that it's a nice beefy 5 power. It's got the 1 armor, pretty resilient, and it's preventing your opponent's creatures from reaping is just very good. Baron Mengevin, 6 power, 1 armor. After you discard a Sanctum card from your hand, Baron Mengevin captures 1 amber. Ooh, the Grey Rider, 2 power, deploy. Play, fight, reap. You may ready and fight with a neighboring creature. Give us 2. Ooh, only 1, but Sir Marrows is nice. 4 power, 2 armor. After your opponent gains amber by reaping, Sir Marrows captures it. So that's 2 things that are affecting our opponent's reaping. A second Sir Marrows for our 3rd card that's messing up our opponent's reaping. Shield of Justice. Amber whenever you play it for the remainder of the turn. Each friendly creature cannot be dealt damage. Pretty good card to see since we already have, what, is this 5 or 6? 5 Sanctum creatures already, and we still have a decent amount of Sanctum to go. 2 of those. Maruk the Marked, 5 power, 1 armor. After Maruk the Marked prevents damage with its armor, capture 1 amber for each damage just prevented. And a Hallowed Shield artifact. Action, choose a creature. For the remainder of the turn, the chosen creature cannot be dealt damage. Bordan the Redeemed, 3 power elusive. Action, capture 2 amber. Blinding Light, amber whenever you play it, choose a house, stun each creature of that house. Now we're on to Brobnar. I feel like this deck has quite a bit of creatures compared to typical decks. Hopefully Brobnar can continue that tradition. I hate seeing a Brobnar house that has very few Brobnar creatures. War Grumpus is 3 power, fight, reap, ready and fight with the neighboring giant. Sound the Horns, amber whenever you play it, discard cards from the top of your deck until you either discard a Brobnar creature or run out of cards. If you discarded a Brobnar creature this way, put it into your hand. Relentless Assault, play, ready and fight with up to 3 different friendly creatures, 1 at a time. It's a good card. Flame Wake Shaman, 4 power, play, deal 2 damage to a creature. Tremor, play, stun a creature and each of its neighbors. Lollop, he's a big boy, it's 11 power, deals no damage when attacked. 2 of those, oh man, too bad we didn't have the Flexor, Might Makes Right in here. And a Grok, 5 power, fight, your opponent loses 1 amber. Groggins, 8 power, can only be used to fight flank creatures. Gauntlet of Command, it's an artifact, action, ready and fight with a friendly creature. Foozle, 5 power, Reap. If an enemy creature has been destroyed this turn, gain an Amber. We have one last card. And it's First Blood. Amber whenever you play it. Alpha. Deal 2 damage for each friendly Brobnar creature. You may divide this damage among any number of creatures. Huh. So this deck is not going to have much Amber whatsoever, but there was a pile of creatures. We will still count up the Amber first. Probably, maybe be able to count Foozle for one because we have a lot of creatures inside of here, and the Gauntlet command also helps us destroy creatures as well. I gotta make sure, I'm so used to finding more Amber than this. Hold on here. Okay, yeah, that's kind of crazy. So just 3, and that's only if we count Foozle inside of Brobnar. Okay, I know we didn't have too much in here either. I think it was like 3 again, because the only other card that wasn't a creature was Gorm, yeah. Darna, I think we can count on some Amber because we had some decent-sized creatures. Big creatures in Brobnar, good-sized creatures in Sanctum, so that's going to definitely get us some Amber. I'm not sure if we can really count on Rustnars. Not every single deck has artifacts out there, and even less will have artifacts with Amber on them. Oh wow, this might be the least amount of Amber I've ever seen in a deck. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 Amber. Remember, some of these are kind of questionable. Your opponent can take care of Telega. Darna, I mean, we're definitely going to get some from that. You get it from the Shield of Justice, the Blinding Light, Sound of the Horn, but Foozle can be questionable. Wow, that is the least amount of Amber by far. But, well, actually, let's keep these up. But what I'm interested in is how many creatures are in this deck. There is going to be a ton of creatures in here. Let's count it up. And after that, we're going to look at our board control, which obviously creatures help out quite a bit with. But we also have some just great complementary cards for these creatures. So I'm a little bit excited about this. It's not your typical deck that you see people get excited about, but I like a big creature deck, especially if it's to the extreme, kind of like this one is. So let's count them up. 5, 10, 15, 23 creatures. Wow. That's nearly 66% of the deck. Let's look at this. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then there was one back. Oh, 2. Wow, 9 creatures are in Untamed. That's pretty wild. 9 Untamed creatures. Some of those are more about the utility side of it. Let's see if there was any back here. Okay, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 in Sanctum. Right, so that leaves us with 7 in Brobnar. Wow, that's pretty good. But let's kind of look at these support cards. First Blood, being able to help take care of our opponent's board, give her some problem creatures, while still then being able to reap with our Brobnar creatures is pretty beneficial. Shield of Justice, being able to knock out, once again, problematic creatures while not harming our own is very nice. You got Blinding Light. We also had another stun here with Tremor. So those are 2 other great ways to just kind of slow them down and get some extra reaps out of your creatures. Song of Spring, as I said, it's not that great, but I guess maybe getting back the Glimmers can be okay. It's nice if you at least have Flaxia to go with your Song of Spring or other play effects. I guess Telega might be okay in here. Sound the Horns is basically actually another creature in Brobnar, so that's interesting to think about as well. So add 1 to that count. Gauntlet Command, being able to ready and fight with even an off creature house, so you can get the fight out of the way, control your opponent's board, and then reap with your other Brobnar creatures is nice. Same thing can be said for Relentless Assault. Hallowed Shield is making the creatures last longer. I like that we have the artifact removal here. That's awesome. Save the pack. We might have to discard it because I have a feeling we're going to be the one that has the most damaged creatures between the 2 players. So that's pretty much going to have to go away. Key Charge is actually pretty good here, as I said, because you got the Glimmers to get it back. And we have so many Untamed creatures that if any amount of them stay on the board, there's a good chance, even if we're maybe at 2 or 3 Amber, that we can push ourselves up to 7 and get ourselves a key. Put ourselves basically down to no Amber for our opponent to steal or capture from us. So that's pretty good. Yeah, this deck, I think people are going to look at it and think it's not that good, but I am a fan of this. So the artifact removal is important. Another thing to note is we do have a lot of really big creatures. So there's a higher chance that Darna, where are you, Darna? Come here. There you are. There's a higher chance that Darna could be like maybe a 3 Amber card, which doesn't happen too often. So getting 3 Amber off her could be pretty solid, and maybe she's another good target for the Glimmers. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I also love that the Flame Wake Shaman can come down. If our opponent plays something like a Professor Sutterkin as their turn 1 play, this is a nice immediate response to it. So I like the Flame Wake Shaman quite a bit. Amber Control in here, you have a little bit less than the average. We had Grok, we had the Joya, 2 Surmeros, Maruk, yeah, Bourdain. Okay, maybe it's a little bit better than I was remembering. And I don't think we had any in the action cards here. We had no capture sort of things. Yeah, nothing inside of the action cards. But yeah, I guess this isn't too bad. So we're not able to protect them with taunts, but that's still a decent number of creatures that are at least kind of helping slow our opponents down if they're creature-based as well. So I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be shocked with what I think the score of this deck is. For having such a low Amber count, Amber Control that's slower, it's proactive as opposed to reactive for the most part. Just kind of, in some cases, plain Jane creatures that aren't really doing that much, because it's not like they have a bunch of play effects. As a matter of fact, we only had, I think, Flame Wake Shaman was our only play effect besides the Glimmers. Oh yeah, okay, darn it. I'm looking for things that are messing with our opponent's board right away, or, you know, stuff like that. We didn't even have too many Reapers either, which is kind of interesting to think about. Bumblebird, actually, since there's 9 untamed creatures in here, you might actually be able to use this as an alpha card and get quite a few +2/+1 power counters that I have not seen in other untamed decks. So yeah, I'm going to give this deck right around a B-. I'm sure a lot of you thought it was maybe like a C, C-, maybe even a little bit lower if you're all about the raw Amber. But I do think there's a lot of value in having a lot of big creatures while also having a lower Amber count, because it makes it harder for the steel decks out there to be able to steal from you, and they might have to hold on to those cards a little bit more often. And if you're building a board, you might be able to push yourself ahead. Their steel cards won't be able to keep up with you. Alright guys, well thank you very much for watching my videos, and I will see you next time.